Does p smaller than 0.05 really mean what we think it does? Well, we use it in hypothesis testing, right? We set up a null hypothesis, that is, there's no difference or no effect, and an alternate hypothesis that there is a difference or effect. Fisher proposed that if the observations have less than a 1 in 20 chance of happening by chance, then the null hypothesis may be rejected and the alternate hypothesis accepted. So why 1 in 20? I mean, why not 1 in 18 or 1 in 23? It just seemed like a good number to Fisher at the time. What I'm trying to get across here is that there is nothing magical about 0.05. It is literally an arbitrary cutoff point. Klein, for example, argues that 0.1 would make more sense in behavioral studies. And there are lots of scientists recently and in the past that have criticized its use and hypothesis testing as well. In 2019, 800 scientists published an article in Nature calling for an end to the use of its incorrect use. What are the problems with using p smaller than 0.05? The major one is that it's an arbitrary cutoff point. If two groups don't differ at the 0.05 level, it doesn't mean there is no difference. It only means that the difference doesn't reach the 0.05 level. There usually is some difference. Another problem is that people misuse significance to separate things in binary categories like, oh, it's a real effect or not a real effect, or it's valid versus invalid, or the data are important or not important, or the hypothesis has been proven true versus proven false. None of that is true. Things aren't binary. Another problem with using p-values is that they're influenced by the number of observations. So with a small data set, 60% in one group versus 40% in another may not be significant. But with large numbers, 81% versus 82% may be significant. What we find often is that replicated studies with very similar data may differ in whether they reach the 0.05 level or not. So what do we do about this? Well, one thing is to look at the data, not just the p-value. Many findings are significant but have a low effect size. So we need to use effect size, not just significance. Remember, 0.0001 is not more significant or stronger than 0.05. In one of my studies, I found a significant difference by age, but the effect size was very, very low. So was there really a difference in ages? Another thing we need to do is look at the data, not just the p-value. Don't discount findings that are above 0.05. Consider practical significance as well. Say a study finds that men buy bread significantly more than women. Well, it may be significant at the 0.05 level, but if it's really a 45-43 split, is there a practical significance in how often men buy bread compared to women? I don't think so. Significance is a tool used to measure things. It's not an arbitrator of truth, and we need to consider it that way.